Yves Montand was an Italian actor and singer who became a French citizen. Early life: Montand was born Ivo Livi in Montesimano Terme, Italy, to Giuseppina and Giovanni Livi, a broom-maker. Giuseppina was a devout Catholic, while Giovanni held strong communist beliefs. Montand's family left for France in 1923 because of Italy's fascist regime. He grew up in Marseille, where, as a young man, he worked in his sister's beauty salon, and later on the docks. He began a career in show business as a music hall singer. In 1944, he was discovered by a Pamela Dith-Piaf in Paris and she made him part of her act. Career: Montand went on to international recognition as a singer and actor, starring in numerous films. His recognizably crooner songs, especially those about Paris, became instant classics. He was one of the most famous performers at Bruno Coquatrix's famous Paris Olympia Music Hall, and toured with musicians including Didi Duprat. In 1951, he married Simone Signoret, and they co-starred in several films throughout their careers. The marriage was, by all accounts, fairly harmonious, lasting until her death in 1985, although Montand had a number of well-publicized affairs, notably with Marilyn Monroe, with whom he starred in one of her last films, Let's Make Love. During his career, Montand acted in a number of American motion pictures as well as on Broadway. He was nominated for a Car Copyright Czar Award for Best Actor in 1980 for I Comic Hair and again in 1984 for Gara Section On. In 1986, after his international box office draw power had fallen off considerably, the 65-year-old Montand gave one of his most memorable performances, as the scheming uncle in the two-part film, Jean de Florette, co-starring Gar copyright Rad Depardieu, and Morning Day Sources, co-starring Emmanuel Bar copyright art. The film was a worldwide critical hit and raised Montand's profile in the U.S., where he made an appearance on Late Night with David Letterman. Personal life: Montand's only child, Valentin, his son by his second wife, Carole Emile, was born in 1988. In a paternity suit that rocked France, another woman accused Montand of being the father of her daughter and went to court to obtain a DNA sample from him. Montand refused, but the woman persisted after his death. In a court ruling that made international headlines, the woman won the right to have Montand exhumed and a sample taken. The results indicated that he was probably not the girl's biological father. Signoret and Montand had a home in Étel-aux-Thrillet, Normandy, where the main village street is named after him. In his later years he maintained a home in Saint-Paul-de-Vence, Provence until his death from a heart attack. In an interview, Jean-Jacques Biniac said, He died on the set of IP5, The Island of Pachyderms. On the very last day, after his very last shot. It was the very last night and we were doing retakes. He finished what he was doing and then he just died. And the film tells the story of an old man who dies from a heart attack, which is the same thing that happened. Montand is interred next to his first wife, Simone Signoret, in Père-Lachaise Cemetery in Paris. Filmography, discography, 1952, Chanty, 1953, Chanty ses dernières cras copyright Ashens, 1953, Chanty Paris, 1953, Ra copyright Cittel author sent to DLA Permeltoil 1953, 1954, Chanty ses derniers sucres S, 1954, number 54, 1955, Chansons populaires de France, 1957, 13 ans d'art copyright Jar A. 1958, Dix chansons pour la copyright tar copyright, 1958, Sucre S du Ra copyright Cittel 1958 author sent to DLA Permeltoil, 1958, Ra copyright Cittel 1 plus Ra copyright Cittel 2, 1958, A Permeltoil 58, 1960, Danses avec Yves Montand, 1961, Ringain tar Ringain, 1962, Chanty pra copyright Vert, 1962, Ra copyright Cittel 63, Inter copyright Graal Duther sent to DLA Permeltoil, 1967, 7, 1968, La Bicyclette, 1968. Le Paris de 1968. A Euro Olympia, 1972, Dan Sondernia one-man show into copyright Graal, 1974, Montand de Mon Temps, 1981, Diarrhée d'aujourd'hui, 1981, Le Disque de la Paix, 1982, Olympia 81, 1983, in English, 1984, Chanty David MC Neal, 1988, Trois Places pour le 26, 1993, Leanna Copyright is owed a copyright on, 1945-1958, 1997, Plaisirs eine Copyright Dits, 2000, A la Farte continue, into copyright Grail. 1945-1949, Volume 1, 2001, Eine Copyright Dits, Rares and Indispensables, 2004, Sensationell, into copyright Grail 1949-1953, Volume 2, 2007, Une copyright Toile la Pamel Toile, into copyright Grail 1953-1954, Volume 3, References. External links. International José Guillermo Carrillo Foundation, Yves Montand at the Internet Movie Database, Yves Montand at the Internet Broadway Database, Yves Montand at Find a Grave.